Is that one of them swanky designer dresses?
I got all dolled up for you.
Well,
Like
it's really working.
You can pinch me, I'm real. See, oh yes.
It's beautiful, and he designed it. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Meghan has many personas, and she behaves very differently from interview to interview and to the speeches she gives. This can come across as unreliable and make it seem like she's merely imitating her surroundings as opposed to having a core. This would be consistent with the fact that she often talks a lot without saying anything. Let's take a look at some of her interviews. We'll start with one where she makes herself seem smaller than the interviewer, both literally and figuratively. But before we do, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell for all updates. This way I can make more videos for you. Also, check this video about relationship dynamics that resemble the dynamics I'm going to discuss in this video, only in a slightly more obvious way. Links in the description. In the following, we should pay attention to how Meghan flirts with the interviewer, Craig. There's also desperation in her laughter, and her laughter ends quite abruptly most of the time, indicating that it's shallow or fake.
Is that one of them swanky designer dresses?
I got all dolled up for you.
Well,
Like
it's really working. You really look well.
Thank you.
I mean, well done. And the show, congratulations, Suits. It's the #1 show on TV.
Thank you. I mean, it's crazy.
It's
We're
like
so
people have gone
excited.
crazy for it, and I love it because it's got that thing in it.
What thing might that be?
The Suits.
Right. It's basically about this guy who's pretending to be a lawyer. He's not really, and how he's making it in this firm. I am the love interest.
Oh, are you a lawyer then?
No, I'm a paralegal.
Well, that's the same as a lawyer, except you jump out of airplanes, right?
That's it exactly. No, she's trying to be a lawyer, and I hope that she can be that at some point. But for now, no, the lowly paralegal.
Well,
1. Her laughter ends quickly. 2. She looks down, hiding her face. 3. It's normal to use hand gestures to overcompensate when you don't find the other speaker funny, but you're in a setting where you're supposed to. She does the same here.
Yeah, because we film in Toronto, so it's not too far.
Toronto, Canada?
Yes.
That's the big one.
The land of... Yes, I know a lot more about maple syrup now.
No,
Yes.
Here it's worth
the big
noting
one.
that she only
The
starts
land.
laughing when she hears that the audience starts
Yes, I
laughing.
know a lot.
I look forward to the letters, Canadians. But where are you from originally?
I'm born and raised here in LA.
There's got to be a world record for the speed of this mood change. Overall, Meghan's reactions seem like imitation rather than genuine, felt experiences. Also, returning to the first clip, it's noteworthy that she starts speaking about a serious topic immediately after her laughter, that she hopes her character, Rachel, can be a lawyer, but that she's now a lowly paralegal. Obviously, there's seriousness right behind her facade, and there's an element of disappointment as well. The character doesn't seem to suit, no pun intended, Meghan's high level of ambition. Meghan's remarks suggest that she's projecting her personality onto Rachel. Next, Meghan's flirtation with Craig continues, but with even spicier remarks that, interestingly, are initiated by her and not Craig. She's busy seeking his validation.
Los Angeles.
Yes, I'm one of the 5. You can pinch me, I'm real. See, oh yes. No, I'm from here. I'm from here. No?
I just wanted to do it again. Strangely hairless body you have.
We see linguistic overcompensation. When no one laughs at Meghan's attempt to sound funny, she says no, which initiates a contrast between the fun they just had and what she says next. It's only when Craig continues Meghan's joke that the audience starts laughing. Once again, Meghan hides her face and laughs as if she's out of breath. But wait, there's more. In fact, we haven't seen anything yet.
You grew up here?
I did.
Are your parents in show business?
My dad is a DP. Yes, he was the lighting director. My dad.
Director of photography.
My dad. I didn't mean to make it sound so.
No, it's all right.
industry.
No, it's fine.
You help, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Has he been on anything I would know?
There was a show called Married with Children. Do you
Seen
remember that
Seen it.
show?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I grew up on the set of Married with Children every day after school for 10 years. I was there.
Wow.
I know. It's a very perverse place because I'm there in my school uniform, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then the guests.
It's a joke, kind of a joke.
What's interesting is that Meghan makes these innuendos herself. Craig doesn't have to. Many people were surprised when Harry got engaged to Meghan. By his own admission, he didn't know anything about her before meeting her on a blind date.
No, I'd never even heard about her until this friend said Meghan Markle. I was like, right, okay, give me a bit of background. What's going on here?
Just like Meghan supposedly didn't know anything about Harry. What a strange coincidence that was.
Everything that I've learned about him, I learned through him. Anything I learned about him and his family was what he would share with me.
A royal engagement interview is obviously a much different setting than a talk show. However, we're still able to compare the personality traits that Meghan reveals from one setting to another. In the engagement interview, we once again observe her ability to laugh, but quickly change her demeanor. But we also notice a much more controlling part of her personality. Apparently, Harry doesn't have the same effect on her that Craig had.
When did it happen? How did it happen?
Just an amazing surprise. It was so sweet and natural and very romantic. He got on one knee.
Of course.
Was it an instant yes from you?
Meghan's always busy drawing the conclusions for the audience to make sure we get the right impression of her. The right impression in her mind, that is. Here, she verbalizes how sweet and natural it supposedly was. She reveals that Harry went down on one knee for her, and Harry, as the faithful prince he is, says, of course. In other words, this clip sums up the dynamic between the two. Meghan limits what Harry can say, both directly and indirectly. Let's start with a direct example.
How did you first meet?
Yes, we first met. We were introduced actually by a mutual friend, who
We should protect her privacy and
Protect her
not
privacy,
reveal
yeah.
too much of that.
And
Since this question is expected, it's unexpected that there's a need to articulate that they should protect the friend's privacy. Whether it's meant as a power display on Meghan's part or because she's genuinely worried that Harry will slip up is hard to say. Either way, it suggests that she doesn't completely trust Harry, which is also indicated by her firm gaze and hand grip. As we saw in her interview with Craig, there's seriousness right behind her laughter. It would be hard to imagine Catherine doing the same to William in their engagement interview. Next, an indirect example of Meghan limiting Harry's answers to questions he's being asked.
for us, it's an opportunity to really get to know each other without other people, looking or trying to take photos on their phones and all that kind of stuff. With that comes with the job, comes with the role. But where possible,
yeah. And we were able to really get to know each other that way. But also then to go and have friends over for dinner, or to go to his family for tea, or any of those sort of things. And even just to take the time to be able to go on long country walks and.
As we see here, Meghan has a negative reaction to Harry's words about taking photos. While Meghan's giving him a reproachful look, he keeps making self-repairs, often resulting in stammering, and is obviously nervous. Harry then gives Meghan a nod, allowing her to take the next turn at talk, which she almost can't wait to take because she overlaps with Harry's turn. What she's saying sounds like damage control from her point of view. Not that there's necessarily any damage to control. The point about country walks sounds particularly redundant and fumbling. Also, Meghan's spicy remarks from her interview with Craig have been replaced with attempts to sound and appear bashful and classy.
I had one question. I said, well, is he nice? Because if he wasn't kind, it didn't seem like it would make sense. And so
Have you met each other's families, I imagine?
yes, his family's been so welcoming, and
the ring is obviously yellow gold because that's her favourite.
it's beautiful. And he designed it. It's incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and make sure it stays on that finger.
Of course.
It's important for Meghan to take the conversations she's in the direction she wants them to go. This was also apparent in her interview with Oprah. Harry expresses surprise about Meghan telling him that she feared for her mental health. A surprise we're able to understand in light of the engagement interview, where he underlined that he told her what to expect.
I tried to warn you as much as possible, but we still had to sit down on the sofa, and I still had to have some pretty, frank conversations with her to say that, what you're letting yourself in for it's a big deal.
Furthermore, the topic mental health was exactly what Harry, William, and Kate were working on.
Harry and I used to go to a lot of engagements and see these incredible charities doing really great work, but felt that we could give more, and how could we do that? And then leading on to that, the mental health campaign Heads Together, I think, basically replicated the same thing again on a sort of national scale.
Meghan was supposed to help the trio with this work, but if we're to believe her, rather than being a helper, she ended up being one of the cases instead. Immediately after Harry expresses his negative surprise, Meghan asks this leading question. Also, we didn't leave right that minute, right? Right has an inbuilt preference for agreement, that Harry should agree with her. From her point of view, this assertion, masked as a question, takes some of the blame off of her and lets people think she gave it a chance. However, Meghan's language gives her away because her language reveals a predominant self-focus. She alleges that she felt ashamed having to admit it to Harry. With this conjunction, however, she goes on to say what she apparently deems more important, that she had to say it. Linguistically, this part is assigned focus due to the conjunction. And next, we see an unusually high frequency of the personal pronoun I, which is also quite revealing. Mental health issues should be taken seriously, and unfortunately, they're very frequent today, partly because of the way society is structured. In Meghan's case, however, she's exaggerating the things that allegedly got to her. And the way she does it reveals a strong sense of entitlement. She claims there was nothing that was offered to her, that it wasn't like the movies, and that she had to Google the national anthem, as if that was a problem. Harry, notably, doesn't say anything as Meghan's openly criticizing his family. The family she called welcoming. Overall, when considering the engagement interview and the Oprah interview, there's a consistent pattern in Meghan and Harry's relationship dynamic, with Meghan controlling Harry's answers and putting herself in the forefront. It seems forced because it's the result of her wanting to decide people's perception of her. And the thing about trying to control people's perception is that it almost always ends up with a negative result, the opposite result of what was intended. Meghan also tries to control her self-branding when giving speeches. The following is a study in how to make something trivial sound world-changing. Notice how much time she takes to tell a simple story. She makes pauses along the way, thus encouraging or commanding people to cheer and laugh. I've had to make some cuts. Not because what she's saying isn't authentic and deeply inspiring, though.
I am tremendously honored to be UN Women's advocate for political participation and leadership. I want to tell you a story that'll sort of give context to my being here and my work with UN Women. When I was just 11 years old, I unknowingly and somehow accidentally became a female advocate. A pivotal moment reshaped my notion of what is possible. See, I had been in school watching a TV show. This commercial came on with the tagline for this dishwashing liquid, and the tagline said, "Women all over America are fighting greasy pots and pans." I remember feeling shocked and angry and also just feeling so hurt. It just wasn't right and something needed to be done. So I went home and I told my dad what had happened. My dad is a DP. And he encouraged me to write letters. So I did.
I didn't mean to make it
to the
sound
most
so...
powerful people I could think of. So off I went, scribbling away to our First Lady at the time, because even at 11, I wanted to cover all my bases. Finally, I wrote to the soap manufacturer.
She's capable of anything.
And a few weeks went by, and to my surprise, I received letters of encouragement from Hillary Clinton, from Linda Ellerby, and from Gloria Allred.
I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
It was amazing. And it was roughly a month later when the soap manufacturer, Procter & Gamble, changed the commercial for their Ivory Clear dishwashing liquid. They changed it from "Women all over America are fighting greasy pots and pans" to "People all over America." It was at that moment that I realized the magnitude of my actions. At the age of 11, I had created my small level of impact.
I've taught branding for more than 5 years. One of the primary goals of branding is so-called source credibility. This is about getting the audience to buy into the values that the celebrity represents, or, as is most often the case, of course, pretends to represent. What's uniquely negative about Meghan's self-branding is that she constantly draws the conclusions for the audience. She doesn't simply tell the story and let people make their own inferences.
That I realized the magnitude of my actions.
This is identical to the way she called Harry's marriage proposal sweet and natural, and their relationship authentic and organic.
So for both of us, it was just a really authentic and organic way to get to know each other.
She doesn't only tell, she concludes. And contrary to her intent, she herself suggests that it was anything but natural or organic or who knows what else. She behaved the same way at the One Young World Summit. People expected her to talk about the organization, but she chose to talk about her favorite subject instead.
I joined you in London in 2019, and by that point, it's fair to say, my life had changed rather significantly. I was now married, and I was now a mom. I was probably a lot like each of you, young, ambitious, advocating for the things I deeply and profoundly believed in. And also looking around and wondering, how on earth did I get here? Have any of you today so far had that feeling, that pinch me moment where you just go, how am I here? Oh, it's a lot. And at that dinner...
She mentioned the organization as a side note, and her superficial words about it could have been said about any organization.
You are the ones driving the positive and necessary change needed across the globe now in this very moment. And for that, I'm so grateful to be in your company today.
This final clip exemplifies what it means to talk a lot without saying anything.
And this week the world is watching as you cement your place in history by showcasing the good that you are doing today, in the present moment, as we embrace the moment of now to create a better tomorrow.
So, what have we learned from this analysis? We've learned that Meghan's awkward and uncomfortable in interviews unless she controls the output of the conversation, the image she so desperately wants people to associate her with. She seems much more comfortable when giving monologues, and she very much enjoys being the center of attention. Her speech rate and unnecessary details reveal as much. There's seriousness and intent right behind her smile, so she's able to change her mood at the drop of a hat. She's capable of adapting her entire personality to different personalities, Craig and Harry being polar opposites in this regard. She's also capable of sounding supportive while actually revealing an inflated sense of self-importance. Finally, she's capable of using generic buzzwords and platitudes as if they're specific and original. That's how we know she values the attention the most, because not all people are able to give self-entitled speeches with no substance. They would feel too embarrassed. Like Harry said,
she's capable of anything. And
in conclusion, Meghan displays shallow emotions and superficial charm, and there seems to be very little, if any, core to her personality. Instead, she becomes like the people she's with, or the people she wants to ingratiate herself with, while still wanting to control the conversation and people's perception of her, that is. People's praise is what she actually pursues, and I wouldn't be surprised if she pursues even bigger platforms, with or without Harry. That's it for now. Before you leave, click the like button and subscribe to the channel.